What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance video, and this one is all about Emily's behavior in the most recent episode of season 9, episode 5. But before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel. Now, here's the thing though, ladies and gentlemen, in the most recent episode, Emily's display and behavior, in my opinion, was just nothing but rude, disrespectful, and most importantly, entitled. Because really and truly, it has been abundantly clear from the very first episode that her parents, her family made it clear that Emily is someone that only looks out for herself and only wants things to be done her way. And if it's not done her way, well, therefore, she'll end up going elsewhere and opening her legs for the next guy. But of course, this time around, she's got a kid with Kobe. So of course, it won't be as simple. It's not going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3 if she decides to do that. But without no further ado, let's get into this little clip here, in particular, of when Kobe is asked by the parents, how did he propose? And then we'll get into another clip after that as well.
Well, I want to hear how you proposed. I don't think we ever heard that.
And she always told me like she would really like when someone wanted to propose to her, like the person should go on the knee. So I bought the ring, and then I acted as if sleep a little bit, and then I was about to fall, and then she catch me, and by that time I was like on my knees, and then I just removed the ring, like because she didn't want me to fall off.
And here we are.
And here we are.
All three of you.
That was the first ring I ever offered to a girl. I never did that before.
Aww.
Like,
but it's fake, and you know,
it's like it wasn't like real diamond. I know.
How ungrateful, how disrespectful. I mean, it's crazy because so far within this episode and the last episode, you know, we've experienced them having a little bit of tit for tat, especially in this one itself in particular. And the mum even said she was a bit concerned how they're already arguing and it's like basically day 2. But at the same time, though, I don't know why they're surprised because they know their own daughter. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why she's been single for as long as she has been single. And to be honest with you, I'm not saying this is anything factual. I'm just throwing it out there for the sake of it. But sometimes I sit and I say to myself, should we even be surprised that she got pregnant on a one-night stand? Because, I mean, I know there are some individuals in this world who do base their life on that biological clock if they do want a child. And some people, trust me when I tell you, I've seen it. I knew someone who would definitely get a seed planted inside them to make sure that they had a kid at a healthy age. But hey, let's slow it down. I'm not saying that is the case in any kind of way. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that came out one day. But nonetheless, though, this is the thing, though. He literally just said a story of how he proposed. And in the story, he ends it by saying, she's the only female that I've ever proposed to. Her response is, yeah, and the ring's fake. You know what's so crazy? For someone that doesn't even have a job herself in particular, who doesn't bring anything to the table financially, in fact, she doesn't bring anything to the table in any kind of way apart from her parents' home. And at the same time, Kobe, he doesn't necessarily bring anything to the table per se, but obviously he does bring a little bit of cash that he did bring with him, of course, from Cameroon. Is it Cameroon or Senegal? From Cameroon, yes. Yes, it's definitely Cameroon, but it's the French tongue. Yes. But hey, listen. That is just one clip itself in particular to show how disrespectful and entitled that she is, and how she's more than happy to express when something isn't done to her standard, even when it's not necessarily necessary. Because of course, when they were away in China, obviously when he proposed, that wasn't a plan. It was never a part of the plan. And you know what? Let's just move on to the next thing before I lose my cool. I have no idea why I just put my tongue out, to be honest with you. It was one of those like awkward moments. You're just like, I just want to calm down, so let me do something random. And then I was just like, yeah, just anyway, let's continue.
To show Daddy what we do every night, huh, Papa?
Oh my.
All right.
Oh,
So, firstly, we had, babe, listen.
all right.
We had like 2 different diapers going on. So
Okay.
this is a nighttime diaper.
All right.
Although Kobe and I kind of got into it a little bit earlier, it is his first night here in our home. So I'm just going to let it go and enjoy our night together. Here, okay, put the diaper on.
Because it's the first night, she's going to let it go and enjoy their night together. Keyword, she said, and we're going to enjoy our night together. Remember that, because that is a very big factor to what happens next in this freaking scene. But to be honest with you, based on what they had a little dispute about earlier on, it really should have never been a dispute. It should have really just been a civil conversation. But hey, when you're talking to someone that only likes to do things their own way, it's never really going to be a conversation though, is it? Anyway, let's continue and remember what she said.
Like, open it up, have it ready to go.
I'll say it down like this.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know where the wipes are, but that one wasn't ready. Okay. All right, now we gotta put jammies on.
Come here.
Okay, just hold him up like that. Hold him up. Don't, babe, don't wild him up. We're going to bed.
I'm just so happy, you know, I get to spend the first night with my son. I never thought I was going to get to this date.
I'm just going to add this because it's very important just to add this for the sake of adding this in here. But it's bedtime. Ideally, no one should be hyping their child up at bedtime. But at the same time, Coben has been resenting and resisting Daddy-O the whole day. So obviously now that Coben is comfortable with Kobe holding him, I understand why obviously Kobe was a bit too excited and started throwing his kid up in the air when his kid should have been starting to get settled for bedtime. So, but at the same time, this is not me defending Kobe in any kind of way, because really and truly, even though it was a good opportunity, I do believe that Kobe could have done a better, you could have done a better job at helping Emily definitely, settle the baby to sleep. I just want to put it out there so you know that I'm not being biased and I'm not just trying to go after Emily. You know what I mean? Obviously, Kobe has his flaws too, but let's proceed.
But Emily, she never felt discouraged for a second. She kept sending me pictures of him, how cute he was, always talking and calling me and telling me. I've been dreaming of when, I'll get to spend the night, all three of us, or me and him, on the same bed.
So, really don't know how this is gonna work. I usually just nurse him to bed, but I have to turn all the lights off to do that.
Like, surprise that I'm gonna be around him.
Are you gonna sleep on that side?
Oh man, feels good.
I don't know if you're gonna have enough room. And we're definitely not gonna have enough room to do anything.
Babe, I'm comfortable.
Keyword. We're definitely not going to, this key phrase, we're definitely not going to have enough room for us to do anything. Remember before, a second ago, ladies and gentlemen, literally about a minute ago in this video, where I said, remember what she said. Today, I'm just going to let it go, yes. Why? Because she was hoping to get a little bit of fun. And now let's remember last episode. Kobe just arrived. First thing he wants to do is go see his son, but Emily's like, no. Girl's got a slippery slope that needs to be attended to first. And to be honest with you, even though she has needs, so does Kobe, and his needs was to see his son. And the matter of fact is that everything that has happened so far has been on her command. And each time Kobe has tried to speak up for himself and say that, hey, hold on a minute, this isn't how you should be speaking to me, or this isn't how things go in my culture. Instead of her maybe being understanding and them coming to a compromise, she's been on the ultimate defense, which therefore has then put Kobe on the defense as well. And therefore, that's why they've ended up having, little tiffs here and there. Not necessarily arguments. I think that's a bit too dramatic. But at the end of the day, it seemed to me that at this moment in time is when things went completely red for Emily. She was like, well, if we're not going to have any fun today, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. You know what? I'm going to show you what's going to happen.
Just let him just chill. Please, just let him chill. Okay. I know you're both hyped. He needs to wind down a little bit. Look, he's so tired. Hi.
Oh.
I know. And this, honestly, is our routine. We just nurse.
Okay.
And we're out.
Let him get weak so long.
And he likes to switch boobs every 2 seconds, every time, forever.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, babe.
So do you think this is going to work out?
Well, you'll be fine.
No, I mean in this bed, because I'm thinking right now I'm already claustrophobic and freaking out.
I'm not disturbing you from doing your duty, alright?
I know, but Coben takes up all that space. I guess we'll just try it. We're going to try it out.
I'm gonna try it, okay?
Kobe being here is great, and I know he's so excited to be close with Coben, but right now he's actually distracting Coben, and I think Coben's really confused. It's normally just him and Mommy in bed, and now here we have Daddy in the mix who's being loud and not following our bedtime routines.
So try and see how you can turn on the lights on.
Not following our bedtime routine, did she say? What bedtime routine is that? Oh, Daddy flies over for the very first time, and I still want to get it down with Daddy. But this is the thing that I really didn't understand. There was literally a crib right next to them. Why didn't she think just to put the baby inside of the crib? But at the same time, though, this is where the communication was very poor, because you see, Kobe in his mind, because he already told us in the cutscene that he was looking forward, he was dreaming of the day he was able to sleep in the bedroom with both his woman and his kid. So that's already obviously on his agenda. Emily, though, on a different conversation, though, she's saying, no, that's not what we're doing right now. But of course, at this moment in time, she's frustrated that Kobe wants Coben to sleep in the bed. And she's also frustrated that Coben is basically, you know, restless at this moment in time, because Kobe obviously woke him up by, you know, exciting things, which he did do, you know. But and then she starts talking about, I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic. Listen, if you ask me personally, I think that she wanted to get Coben into the crib real quick. She wanted to sleep real quick, but because he's not, she's getting agitated because she realizes that by the time that Coben sleeps, Kobe's probably going to sleep too, so therefore she's not going to get her fun time, because the matter of fact is this, no matter how you want to look at it, but she looks at Kobe as a sex something, yeah. End of the day, he's just a man with a freaking pipe, and all she wants to do is use that freaking pipe, and she doesn't even care about allowing him to actually, do you know what, let me not speak too soon, let's finish off the scene, please.
That's okay.
He is just so super high.
I know, well,
Oh, man.
I don't know how he's gonna go to bed with you in this bed. I think it's gonna be hard. But there's always another bed for you.
Oh.
I don't want to take Coben out of bed yet.
Oh.
Bye-bye. Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Bye-bye. Coben.
Thank you.
No, I just don't think it's going to even be possible to put him to bed with you in here. I guess you're going to sleep in the other bed tonight.
Yeah. Oh, Emily telling me that I might not get to sleep on the bed is really discouraging.
Say goodnight to Coben.
Good night.
Say night-night, Dada. Say night-night.
Come here. And I am frustrated because we talked about these things when I was back in Cameroon. She told me like the bed is too small. I'm like, if you think the bed is too small, please, before I get there, try to get a bigger bed. Let me tell you that, okay?
Okay, bye.
And obviously, as you can see, the result then became Kobe going to another room and sleeping in another bed all by himself, away from his kid and away from his woman. I mean, honestly, that is not a way that anyone. Do you know what? Listen, let me keep it a buck. The matter of fact is, I felt like Emily wasn't even looking to try, unless she was gonna get something in her favor. She just didn't want to know. That's how I read the situation. That's the perspective that I've seen it anyway. I'm not saying that my perception is the correct one, but based on everything that I was able to identify from the two scenes that I've shown you, of first and foremost, her and her silly freaking entitlement, complaining about how the ring wasn't even real. When, listen, there's plenty of people that at first they'll get a ring that I guess isn't real, but then at some point when they have the funds, they will upgrade the ring. There is something called an upgrade, which is probably another reason why some people even renew their vows as well. But hey, Emily now, the spoiled little brat, has to have things her way, and if it's not the way she wants it, she's gonna take a nice little jab at you. And the same thing that happened later on. She was like, listen, I know we had a tiff earlier on, but I'm gonna let it slide this time. Why? Because she wanted to get that pum-pum. You know what I mean? But then when it turned out that she wasn't going to get that pum-pum, she then decided to do what she does best, started taking jabs. And the jab is, you're keeping the baby awake. You know what? I don't think he's going to sleep because you're in the room. You know what? You should just go sleep in the other room. There was no, you know what? Let's give it half an hour. Let's give it an hour. Okay, let's just turn the lights off, which they had, but let's just turn the light off, tell the cameraman to get the hell out, and let's just see if we can fall asleep. And let's not forget though, the fact that there was a cameraman in there as well, or at least a camera on site, you never know, that camera could have been the one keeping the baby awake, you know. Probably wasn't, but definitely was Kobe, don't want to lie to you, but you never know. The camera could have made an impact in some kind of way. But the matter of fact is though, Emily just didn't want to know. Why? Because she realized that she wasn't going to get her pum-pum. So therefore she was like, just get the hell out. If I don't get what I want, get out. And honestly, I feel sorry for Kobe, because really and truly now, let's say we didn't know what happened in the future, because it's so easy to know what's going to happen. It's so easy now for us to know what happened after the show was aired, because obviously these guys are on social media. But let's say we didn't know, you know, I would have been sitting and saying to myself that I can see these two breaking up ASAP. I can see these two going in a situation where it goes kaput. Because like I said before, I had elements of Memphis this one. Because Memphis, throughout the whole season of 90 Day Fiancé before 9 days, she needed to have everything her way. And then once she got things her way, they got married. But then obviously things went downhill when he flew over to the States, which was always probably going to happen anyway. Obviously, that's not necessarily the case with these guys because he's already flown to the States, of course. And he's obviously there in their family home. And to be honest with you, I think it is quite disgusting and quite annoying how the family, include Emily, haven't really done enough, in my opinion, to make Kobe feel welcomed, you know? Like, because here's the thing. I wasn't even going, I'm not even going to show the clip. Maybe I'll make a separate video about it. Otherwise, it will be for a very long time. But there is another scene within this video. Is in particular, you know what? Screw it. Let's go through that scene right now. Plus, some of you love my videos when they're long as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay.
Trouble.
I'm the boss, remember?
You're the boss. I'm the overall boss. So.
Okay, in your culture, who is the boss?
The man is always the boss.
Oh, well, that's kind of scary here. Well, you see, the whole thing about Emily is that we all do what Emily tells us to do.
Read it a little louder, Grandma.
So for
I mean, to be honest with you, the fact that the grandma said that explains everything that I basically explains everything that I've been saying in this whole video. If Emily doesn't get it, if Emily doesn't get it her way, then that devil comes out. But to be fair with you, I didn't really like the way the dad had to basically still instigate more, you know? Like, so in your culture, who are you the boss? But here's the thing though. Why is that even relevant anymore? Like, shouldn't have, first and foremost, that's not a conversation that daddy should be having with Kobe, first and foremost. That's a conversation that Emily should be having with her man. Just what I'm saying. But hey, daddy-o though, throughout the whole episode was just jarring. Bloody jarring, you know? But anyway, let's just continue to how they treat him in terms of the interrogation.
change is going to be like really totally dramatic.
So, Kobe, what are your expectations of the United States? I mean, you've never been here before, right?
I've never been here, but, due to what we've been hearing and then from friends also, like, so much opportunities can be found here. Like, you can really make life better for yourself.
Okay.
Maybe with time, I can see what I want to do.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to, get to work and find a good job and provide for your family. They're going to demand a lot of things from you. I don't think Kobe really has a plan, so I'm very concerned. She's my little girl. So I'm really concerned about him being able to provide. Is brought into this world, and he's a big responsibility. They are responsible for him. Well, you just got here. I can't interrogate you too much, but we just got to sit down and just figure out how to get from that point A to point B. Because
I mean, listen, when Daddy said, well, Emily, my little girl. So basically, you've been providing for Emily for such a long time. I mean, you still are now. And it's just funny because Kobe's coming to the... You know what? Let me reverse a little bit real quick. Daddy-o was the very first person to put Emily on blast in the very first episode by making it abundantly clear that she's been around. Well, listen, you know what? Cut the BS. He basically was the first one to say that his little girl's a hoe. Simple as that, okay? And the matter of fact is, the way I see it, the fact that his daughter has now finally found someone who actually wants to stick around, and not only stick around in her life, but to stick around to also be in his own kid's life. Because, ladies and gentlemen, look at the world that we live in. The amount of children that don't have both parents is absolutely abysmal. But guess what though? Kobe was like, you know what? I'm going to fly over to America and we are going to make this happen some way, somehow. And in that time, Emily has done nothing to better their situation. You know what I'm saying, okay? Obviously, she's given... Kobe at this moment in time was 17 months old, right? Of course, I'm not saying she should have got a job or anything like that per se, but did she get a bigger bed like Kobe requested that, you know, they could have. No, she didn't. Why? Because she probably hasn't got any money. Why? Because Daddy-O has been looking after for the longest time. So it's quite interesting how Daddy-O now expects a man to come into his daughter's life and basically take over what he's been doing the whole time. And that is, wait for it, spoiling his little girl this whole, God knows how old is she? What, she's 30, 29, 30 something? I don't know. However many years she's been on this planet, he's been spoiling her. But the matter of fact is this though. You know how Emily has this thing on the very first episode, how she wanted to question Kobe about the finances? I wonder where she gets that attitude from. Oh, wait for it. If you don't know, then you don't know. And that's a problem for you, because you should know by now where she gets that from. Because as we can see from the scene, Daddy-O is already talking about how you're going to support and help this family. But hold on a minute. Didn't Kobe just fly from another country to the United States of America though? So therefore, how is he even going to have it on his brain right now how he's going to be able to get a job when, hold on a minute, he can't get a freaking job? And why is that? Because he's not allowed legally for at least 90 days. But can we have a civil conversation? Can we have a conversation that is not interrogating a man that has just landed 2 days in? Why can't they wait a week, maybe even a month, whatever, and be like, listen, so you've been in for a couple of days, you've been in for a couple of weeks, or whatever it could be. I know obviously you can't get a job right now, but obviously when you can, don't worry, I'm going to, hopefully you and I can work something out to try and help you get a job, you know what I mean? And hopefully at the same time, maybe even Emily can get herself in a job too. But it seems to me as if possibly Emily may never actually work, because the impression that I'm getting is that Emily's been living off of Daddy-O's money for the longest time possible. I mean, that's the energy that he was giving me anyway in this scene itself in particular. But guess what though? They want to give Kobe this treatment. What are people calling it right now on social media? To be fair, saying that, forget social media. Someone said it first on the live stream that we did on Sunday, and they said that this couple right now, this whole situation is literally like watching Get Out Part 2, if you dig what I'm saying. And if you ask me, it seems to be the case. The difference is though is that in Get Out, they actually had history thrown into it about the black culture XYZ. In this one here, none of them have even done any research on where he's from, what it's like to be there, which is fine because they're asking him now, but then some of the responses are just ridiculous. Nonetheless though, as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, Emily only wants things to be done her way, and if they're not done her way, well then that means Kobe's a bad person. And Daddy-O wants to make sure that Kobe doesn't come to this United States just to chillax, which is fine, but at the same time though, he doesn't care how rude he's gonna be or how rude the word. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on Daddy-O. I just think Daddy-O's timing and some of his wording at this time is a bit too rash. But I do understand that obviously Daddy-O's trying to, you know, look out for the best interest in terms of his child, in terms of his daughter and also his grandchild. So I do understand to a certain degree. I'm not going to sit here naive and be like, I don't understand. I'm just going to attack Daddy-O. No, it's just that there's ways you can go about it. And the way this family has been going about things towards Kobe has been unacceptable. And it's, at the same time, we can say that about other families too. Ah, man, that was a lot to take. Oh boy, take a deep breath, boy. Oh yeah. Nonetheless though, let me know what you are thinking in the comment section and we'll talk about it if you dig what I'm saying. Do you think that the family is putting too much pressure on Kobe, considering he's only been there for literally about 2 freaking days? And also, do you think Emily is only really in this relationship because she just sees him as a piece of meat that can entertain her whenever she needs Yeah, dig what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, if I was Kobe, I would run now. But make sure that he's able to see his child, of course. You know what I mean? Let's not mess about. Get that custody first, brother. Get that custody first. Get that, you know what I mean? Because Emily's the kind of person that probably raise their child alone to hate Daddy-O. She just gives me those freaking vibes. Nonetheless, I'll stop the video here before I carry on going forever and forever. Thank you so much for your time. Like, subscribe, and have a good freaking day. Peace.